Battle Royale games are the new big thing in gaming, with games like PUBG and Fortnite blowing up recently and having a massive player base on both PC and console. I personally do not own a gaming PC and I'm a strictly console gamer, and I have only recently been getting into these types of games. They were only PC for the longest time. You know, their 100-man Battle Royale mode weren't on consoles until Fortnite really did their free one, and then recently PUBG was released on Xbox One. But you know, which one is better? Which one should you sink your time into getting good at? Well, if you're a PS4 owner, the answer is simple for you. Fortnite is your only option, so play that. If you're an Xbox player like myself, then that choice gets a little bit harder to make.
No fucking way, dude, fuck you!
First, let's take a closer look at what makes each game so popular and loved by players. So PUBG obviously takes itself much more seriously than Fortnite, and has a military simulator style to it. Its guns, armor, and environments are all hyper-realistic, and it can make for some intense moments, which is what makes the game just so addicting. The game has a massive map, and players can explore nearly every inch of it, and the loot is randomly scattered around each map, completely fresh and experience each time you play it. Also, its combat is also very realistic, having bullet drop and travel distance and taking things like that into account. Also, the sheer amount of weapons and customization in the game is incredible, and the devs are adding more and more to it all the time. PUBG doesn't include a mining or crafting system like Fortnite does, so there's no building forts for cover or building these massive buildings and structures. But, you know, it does have a lot more buildings and settlements to make up for it, to use as cover. The map, like I said, the map is absolutely massive, and exploring it is incredible. It's easy to see why this game has sold over 16 million copies so far this year, but the game runs extremely poorly on Xbox One. Again, like I said, I do not own a PC, so I was stoked when I heard this was coming to Xbox, and I waited for it for what seems like forever. But when I first played it, it has a ton of issues. Now, first off, like I said, the game is designed for PC, which means that the controls can get pretty wonky on a controller. When you're looting and doing your inventory management, it can get kind of tricky at times, and which has led to, you know, many of my deaths where I'm fumbling through my inventory, try to put a scope on, and I end up getting shot because I can't get back to my gun. That could just be me being a noob, but I feel like this game clearly had keyboard playing in mind, and they could kind of streamline that, and they might tinker with that somewhere down the road. You know, but another thing here is the absolutely abysmal frame rate on console. It seems like the game is pushing the Xbox One to the absolute limit here, and the majority of the time I experience extreme slowdown, frame drops, which makes the game feel, you know, extremely choppy and just kind of weird. And being accurate in combat is next to impossible when you're dropping so many frames. I've also experienced plenty of odd glitches, things like falling through the map, my character's gun not loading in, and other little small aesthetic stuff on top of that. Now, I did hear that the game is on Xbox One X. It is an enhanced version of that, and it runs slightly better, but I do not have the Xbox One X. I have the Xbox One S, so I can't really speak to that. And, of course, as always, the game is still technically in beta, and who knows, maybe with more time, the developers can patch these problems out and fix some of these and address some of these issues. Hopefully do, but we'll have to wait and see, you know, what they do. They probably will work on this further, but you know, look, as of now, it is what it is. But I can say one thing great about this game is it's only $30, and they do plan on fixing it sometime in the road. Probably worth your time and money. But then there's Fortnite, and what's better than being cheap? Being free, of course. And yes, there are microtransactions in Fortnite, but they are purely cosmetic and optional. It's not a pay-to-win type game like Star Wars Battlefront, which is pretty nice to see. Anyway, the game obviously has a nearly identical playstyle, just a few tweaks here and there. The game is not meant to take itself too seriously, hence the cartoony graphics and the, you know, cartoony environment, which could be a turnoff to the more hardcore audience. But going with this style, I think it allows the Xbox One to be able to process the game much faster, as opposed to having these harder to render PUBG environments with all these complex textures and shading and, you know, lighting and stuff like that. That's really taxing on the Xbox One X even. So they have these cartoony graphics. They still look decent, but it's a lot easier, and you don't have as many frame rate issues. There's no slowdown, and I don't really think I've ever experienced any glitches or anything like that of the sort while playing Fortnite. And I've probably put 100+ hours into it at this point. But possibly, though, like I said, the biggest difference between the two games is the mining and crafting system, which is incredible. It's like they took Minecraft and combined it with H1Z1, and it's seamless and it's fun. Building forts with your friends, or putting up cover, and building into the sky, or making a giant cover fort with your friends. It's just super, super cool. And they're adding new things to it all the time, different abilities. You can edit them. You can add doors. It's a crazy what you can do, and it's only going to get better with time when they add more stuff and refine it. It's probably the best part about this game. I think it's what really sets it apart. Is you guys, like I said, you can mine and build. It's pretty awesome. It brings the Minecraft into the Battle Royale, and I think it's really, really cool.
Nice! Yes! Fuck yeah!
Now I've had a ton of fun with both games, and they have made my heart race more than I ever thought a game could make me do. Both are truly unique and have a lot to offer for gamers. Now, as for which one is better, I'd have to say it depends on A, your personal preference, B, which system you plan to play on, and I think if you're on Xbox One, then Fortnite, as of right now, is the much better experience because there's no frame rate issues, the game runs smoothly, and of course, it's totally free, so there's no reason not to try it. Again, if you're a PS4 owner, you don't really have an option. PUBG isn't on there as of yet, so Fortnite, it is for you. And if you're playing on PC, I would honestly go for PUBG over Fortnite if your gaming setup can handle it. If you have a good enough PC that can handle all of the rendering quickly enough, it doesn't stutter, I think it is the slightly better experience when compared to it. But again, it comes down to personal preference. Both games are absolutely great, so I would even recommend doing what I do, and that is playing both if it is available to. If you're on PC, you can play both. If you're on Xbox One, you can play both. But sadly, like I said, on PS4, as of right now, you can only play Fortnite, so at least you got that going for you. Anyway, that is all I have time for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you guys all did, do me a huge favor and hit that like button down below. Subscribe for more videos in your sub boxes daily. Also, be sure to check out some of my previous videos. Head on over to my gaming channel where I've uploaded a couple of my Fortnite victories. I've done a couple solo victories over there, I got a couple duo victories over there, and I have a squad victory over there posted. If you guys are interested in watching those full videos, head on over there. Links in the description and the end slate. Today's code word you guys can drop in the comments down below. Just let me guys know I made it all the way to the end of today's video. And in fact, some of the coolest cats on the internet is going to be Danny, like Danny Phantom, one of my favorite cartoon characters growing up. So go ahead and drop that in the comment section down below. And I know you guys are some of the coolest people on the entire internet. But until next time, guys, remember that it's always K-Mac time somewhere. Until then, take it easy and peace out.